Welcome to the Paul Has Fun podcast. My name is Paul, and on this podcast, I document my life and interests. And who am I? I'm a 40-plus-year-old, born and raised New Yorker. My interests being movies and TV, specifically in the genres of fantasy action, sci-fi, horror, superhero movies, and comedies. I grew up listening and dancing to hip-hop, house music, and now it's dancehall reggae. I'm also into video games, comics, action figures, pro wrestling, self-development material such as books, podcasts, and videos. I'm also into a plant-based lifestyle. I've been an eBay seller for over 20 years, and I love weird but true stories. I discuss all of this, and sometimes even other topics, on this podcast. Thank you so much for spending time with me. On this episode, Jason G, myself, and Mark, we discuss Deadpool and Wolverine. We did this review on July 25th, the day before the official release date. A lot of times in movie theaters by us, we're in the New York City area, they will show a bigger movie the day before, like we do with all of the reviews on this podcast. I would say almost 10 times out of 10, we see the movie kind of the day before the release date. And it's not something exclusive to us, like a lot of theaters around the country do this. I'm recording this update here to track the box office, and this is almost a month later that the movie's been in theaters, almost 5 to 6 weeks. And I'm recording this on Labor Day weekend. The movie cost $200 million to make, and let's say with the advertising budget, because they really did advertise this, they always say it's a double of whatever the budget was. So let's say all in all, the movie spent $400 million. And basically being made and being promoted. Now, as of Labor Day weekend 2024, the movie's at $1.2 billion. Domestically, it is the second highest grossing movie of the year, right behind Inside Out 2, both Disney movies. And it's not even like $100 million that's like separating them. It's less than $100 million separating the two movies. Also, another fun fact with Deadpool and Wolverine, it is the highest grossing domestic, or it could be all-time, rated R movie. The movie to last hold that prestigious award was Joker, and now Deadpool and Wolverine have surpassed that. So let's go ahead and get into the review. Once again, this review was recorded July 25th, and this update was done Labor Day weekend 2024, which is pretty much like late August. Let's do this. We are here back at it again at the, once again, AMC Empire, 42nd Street in the middle of the world, Times Square.
Yes, Empire
And
25.
here with once again, Jason G. Mark is back again.
Yes, indeed.
Welcome back.
Last time Mark joined us was for the Bad Boys review, which is not that long ago, but we're back.
That's right.
We just came from seeing Wolverine and Deadpool, or Deadpool and Wolverine. So,
Yeah, what is the official title of the movie?
Deadpool and Wolverine, I think. I don't know.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Third.
But we'll go around.
Deadpool 3, Logan 2.
Go on in, yeah. Jason, you start us off this time.
Yeah, this was, I think, the most highly anticipated movie of 2024. And we saw it opening night, right? I think there was a fan event. That's what Mark was saying earlier today, about 3 p.m., where you get these goodies and you see it like before anyone else does.
You can get maybe that unique popcorn thing, which Jason tried to get.
Which I tried to get, actually, but it wasn't there, so I'm like, okay, no sale, please.
It was sold out. They said it was sold out.
They only had the headless Deadpool, with that one flying around with the spine out.
Oh, they have a second one? I only thought it was the Wolverine one.
Yeah, no, it was just that floating Deadpool one.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
So they had that, but I wanted the Wolverine one.
100%. That's a funny looking one.
You're sticking your head in the mouth and then you're eating
Those
popcorn.
Things, this year, that's like a new phenomenon that started kind of this year. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments where you may be listening and watching this. And those things have been so popular. I think the first one was the Dune one, which it looked kind of phallic a little bit.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But a bunch of other movies have done these, and like they're
And now
becoming
it's
more
getting popular.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, why don't they make more of them? But maybe they want to do that. They want to make it just so
Limited
many.
quantity, yeah.
So it causes a,
prefer to get out to the theaters,
a frantic demand.
100%. You go on eBay, you could probably find those things 3 times the price, like I was telling you in the movies. But continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was a very fun movie. I think the Easter eggs are wonderful. So many and we're talking spoilers, right? So many cameos and fun cameos that we did not expect. Like the original Blade, Wesley Snipes, oh my goodness. Elektra, I mean, and then had a line like, you know, where oh, sorry it didn't work out. And she was like, oh, it's okay, because I think she was married to Ben Affleck at one point, right? So it's okay.
That was a lot.
That's hilarious.
He even referred to Hugh Jackman's divorce that he's currently going through.
I didn't catch that. Okay.
He did so many little references and so much that one, like third wall, breaking the fourth wall.
Yes. That was great. And the story is a little simple, though. You know, it's like almost no story, right? There's almost no story.
Like a road trip.
It's just all fun.
Yeah, it's like a road trip.
All fighting. You know, how many like slow motion fight scenes with music do we need? I mean, you know, they're just going over the top and having fun with it. But overall, it sums up. I mean, I thought it was great. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But we'll talk about the goods and the bads anyway. How about you guys? What did you think?
Mark, what did you think?
You know, I'm surprised this movie was PG-13, was it?
No, it was rated R.
I was going to say, there was a little girl
rated
sitting
R.
2 seats over from me.
No, it was not. Yeah.
I was cringing every time I saw her, and I was like, this movie is definitely not meant for you, my young little lad. But I too was, I was entertained the entire time. That was a full 2 hour, 8 minute of entertainment. Lots of laughs, lots of cameos, Gambit.
It's supposed to be a movie, and it never became a movie. So the fact that they brought him was amazing.
Remind me of the actor's name again for Captain America.
What a great twist that was.
I was just like, wow. I was expecting Captain America. I was like, oh, no, we're not going that way. Okay.
Johnny Storm, right?
Johnny Storm.
That was his first character.
It made me realize that it's always important to watch other series. I think if you didn't really watch Loki, unless there's another way to learn about the TVA, you would kind of be like, oh, this is something I've never heard of before. What is this?
Right.
But being an avid Disney series watcher myself, I was very in tune to what was going on there, and I said, I like
You weren't lost.
I was not lost at all. So, but like you said, road trip, very road trip type. Ryan Reynolds doing what he does best and just being a full-on entertainer, lots of laughs. So this is definitely a movie that I would go out to see and just really.
Would you see it again?
Absolutely, I would have.
Oh, yeah.
I'd walk into the theater number 3 right here, right now, and go ahead and watch it.
Literally, as we're recording it, we can hear like we're outside one of the theaters.
One of the smaller theaters.
And you can hear it. Yeah, one of the smaller theaters, you can hear it.
Just starting.
We made sure we saw it in the Dolby Theater.
Thanks to Jason. I just want to give Jason
Well, thanks to you, because when we saw some movie in the recent past, is it Furiosa or something?
Furiosa, one of them.
But you said, tickets are on sale. And then I whipped out my phone, and I'm like, oh, shit, the exact same seats we have now are available. And I got them. And then now we're here, and then the one in front was available.
Gladly, Mark wasn't able to sit right next to us in this one. He got his tickets later, but we're just so glad. It's always good to have you over.
Absolutely, that was a lot of fun. Fantastic. And then this theater, even though it was the front 2 rows for us, but you know they have it so far back that it's not so bad, and then the seats recline, so you're not like messing your head.
Even your seat, like you were literally in the very front row.
And
right?
that was good. Yeah,
it's your point. You know?
Yeah, because the screen is like on the floor, literally. It's not like up here. We gotta do this. So it's very good. Yeah.
I will mention this. Ryan Reynolds, he is a great entertainer. He's not the funniest for me. There were a lot of, jokes that I made, and I was like, all right, I'm getting a little... Like, you get that struggle where it's like, it's a Marvel movie, so you want that seriousness of an action movie, but there's so much comedy where it almost kind of downpours a little bit for me, where I'm like, all right, let's get a little serious again, because I want to get back into the emotion of it all, and it's like, all right, here we go,
Which
cracking
he
jokes
does
again.
really well.
Yes, he does do very well.
When it comes to the emotional stuff, I think, like, you could almost feel it to the point of pulling on your heartstrings.
Exactly.
It's like, wow, Ryan Reynolds, like, you were so jokey, and now you're really pulling on my heartstrings.
And they go back and forth. You're sitting there and you're like glued to it. And it's like, you start laughing again because he makes light of the situation again. So it's fun to see that dynamic in a Marvel movie where they can be very serious coming from the other movies that have come out. So, but this is definitely a movie I would see. I would see a few times.
There you go.
I'll see it in Prime. I'll see it in Laser.
Exactly.
Listen,
I'm not one to go see a movie a second time unless I'm on a date. Want to bring them to go see something. But definitely when this comes on to either Disney Plus or any of the streaming services, we'll definitely be rewatching this 100%. In the very gist of everything, this was just a fun time in the movie theaters. But the investment of seeing all these movies for all these years and all these TV shows makes it even
right.
more like, wow, you know what I mean? And also watching because I think the Fantastic Four as well were like 20th Century Fox movies.
Right, yes.
Watching all those movies for all those years, it really makes it so like you get like, and even the Daredevil movie with
Ben Affleck.
what's his name?
And
Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner. Electra, yeah.
Seeing all that stuff for all those years, the Blade movies, everything, and then like having the inside of baseball, like you said about Channing Tatum, that he was like on the precipice of making this Gambit movie, but it just never materialized. All the inside of baseball stuff, and then when you see in the end credits that scene, which fits perfectly with this, because Deadpool breaks the fourth wall so much and recognizes the characters as the real actors and makes jokes about their real lives. This movie felt like a love letter to the 20th Century Fox hero movies, and that I just don't get a feeling. Maybe some parts of it will continue, but a lot of it won't. You know, a lot of it is just going to kind of stay here, and in the sense of like those same actors and stuff like that. I think you'll see one of them, two of them pop up, but like Chris Evans playing Johnny Storm and all that stuff, like you're never going to see that again.
Yeah.
Kind of, or even like what's the extent they playing Blade? I mean, maybe if they do some kind of old man
You saw
Blade
the
thing.
ode to that, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm the only Blade. And then, you
But
know, Ryan
it's
Reynolds
so
was
funny
right
because
camera.
and new movies in development hell, like how many times they changed directors and they had a script, they had to, they dropped the script, another script, they dropped the script. So that movie's been in development. It's like The Flash, right? Like it took so many years to make this movie until it actually materialized in theaters, and Blade's kind of going through something similar, with this guy. I'm forgetting his name right now. Dang it.
Michelle.
Elba
or something. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. But
yeah, he's a great actor.
Yes,
and he's perfect for Blade. It's
would
too
be,
bad.
I think he'd be a fantastic Blade when this movie materializes.
I thought he wasn't. I thought he had dipped out. No? Oh, no.
No, he's still in it.
He's still in it,
but
it's two of them. Okay, yeah.
But just the number of people, of directors and writers that have come and gone from this script has been crazy.
Yeah.
But getting back to this movie here, very entertaining, laugh out loud multiple times. I have some gripes in them. When we go a second round, I'm going to get those gripes in. It's kind of like the Tobey Maguire, like the last Spider-Man movie where you get Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Like, you've been watching these movies for years, and of course, the people who made this movie are playing on that. In terms of like getting back to this nostalgia of, you've been watching these movies for years, these Fox superhero movies, and now look at all these characters we brought back, and it's like, oh shit! And especially in our age group, like we've seen so many of these movies. I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, and at the end of the movie, in the mid credits, right, they had a great that was
so great.
I love that.
Like exactly, just seeing like the actors in all these movies we've been watching for the last 20 years.
Since was it '99? Was X-Men the first X-Men?
Crazy,
yeah.
And like it's 2024.
25 years, yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
and how old was he then, Hugh Jackman?
Oh,
must have been young.
Dude, like you didn't see Ryan Reynolds, how young he looked.
Yeah, right.
Those movies were not even as old as the X-Men movies.
Yeah, right,
And Hugh Jackman playing this character again. This is movie 7, 8. Like, how many movies has this guy played this character? It's kind of like a James Bond thing.
So many, yeah.
Present day, in the sense of one actor playing a movie. But maybe he's played the character so many times. It's like he has a stamp on it. Ryan Reynolds has his stamp on Deadpool. And this is just so much fun and so much nostalgia for us comic book movie fans. A good time. A road trip movie, like you guys are right, a simple kind of premise. The Logan movie was a road trip movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so was this movie. But I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know if we'll ever see Hugh Jackman reprising this role again. I don't know about that. I can see Ryan Reynolds reprising Deadpool, but I don't see Hugh Jackman. I'm actually seeing that, and I don't have no kind of confirmation, or I haven't heard this, but they'll replace that character with another actor now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And in the beginning part, like so much inside baseball, like I said, these characters that showed up when he was going through the different dimensions and going and looking for Wolverines. And these are all Wolverines that were in different comic book stories, like the one without the hand, the one with the patch, the one on that cross. It is so cool. So cool.
Funny, yeah.
And like the short, like that's how Wolverine is actually supposed to look, this short, stocky.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
In the comic books, he's like...
And that's it, he's like a short, like stocky. He's not like a long... kind of
that's how he is in the comics. Yeah. So I noticed. I think I pointed out to you that when it says written by in the beginning, top writer was Ryan Reynolds. So he must have just said, hey guys, I want to do
He was
a
a
Deadpool.
producer on this.
I know. Oh yeah,
A producer.
He was one of the producers.
He really had his hands on this whole thing.
So he must have been like, now that Disney has Fox, he had this whole treasure chest of like just going through everything and like, oh, I'm gonna just have
the fact
fun
that they
with
allowed
this.
him to do it, too.
Yeah,
like they gave him such free reign.
Right.
That's like a big level of confidence.
Making fun of so many things, right?
100%, yeah. And mentioning and using so many things.
Sure. Yeah. Hugh Jackman playing the Wolverine who was in this movie the most. That Wolverine, he plays it so well. He's like,
I think this is the most comic.
Over the top, angry but fuck up, and
Yeah.
he's drinking different whiskeys. They have like Jim Beam and Johnny Walker, and
This is the most, to me, this is the most comics accurate Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like, he's always had his own version, which we've loved. But this is very comic accurate, like
Yeah.
from the
Especially
outfit.
with the mask.
Yeah, and
mask.
the drinking and the, like the, 100%. Like, did you have any? We're gonna go second round with negatives. I mean, unless you have
No,
something.
I should have counted how many of these characters made those cameos, even if they didn't physically, just a name mention or two. Like, it was, like you said, just jam-packed.
It's so packed.
Even you're just sitting there like, all right, who's coming out next? Who's coming out next? Just when they were in that, I don't know if that was a cave or a camper, I don't know what they were in, but, just to see who the four were that were coming in there, and that applause you hear with Electra, and
That's how
Wade
completely
and
unexpected.
Gambit, yeah. And I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar. I didn't see the last Wolverine movie with D23?
X-23.
X23? So I was
That one was one of them. You should really check it
I
out.
was
It's
unfamiliar with that.
fantastic.
So I'll have to
Was
watch
it Logan?
Yeah.
Logan.
Yeah,
Oh,
Logan's
okay.
Logan. So I have to
Fantastic.
watch that and see. But I think like what you said is right. I think a lot of these characters, I don't think Hugh Jackman's going to be playing Logan again. Wesley Snipes we already know. Chris Evans we already know. You start thinking about it where it's like these actors have those trademarks on these characters. Even
Like they have a stamp on them.
yeah, they have the stamp on it. And it's like, well, I don't even think we're going to see even Iron Man, Tony. That's Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
But there's just certain actors who we know we're probably not going to see them in these iconic roles too much longer.
Or maybe just like cameos in the future.
Cameos in the future,
But like
but-
playing like a big substantial,
Right.
like I'm in the movie most of the time. No, it'll be a young actor who they're pushing because they're going to grow with this actor. And then they'll have like kind of like that, like,
Or do you pull a passing the torch for Captain America?
exactly.
And it's like, no, Captain America still exists. It's just not going to be,
Yeah.
Right.
And if in some universe they bring these people back, they'll be like mentor roles. But like this new young actor.
But I think
is
the
one.
TVA allows that. Or
It
it's
does.
Like, oh yeah, in a different universe, yes, he's still. You
That's-
know what I mean? And I think that's the fun of it.
That's-
Is that one of the gripes?
Because it is a gripe in the sense of like whenever you have time travel. I've heard another movie critic that I follow say this, and I agree with him. And I never thought of it that way. But whenever you have a time travel or a multiverse thing, like it's an excuse to do anything. Oh, you killed the character, you can bring him back. Something happened in the past, we can fix it. You know what I mean? So it's like it's always fixable. It's never permanent stakes. But let's go around a second time. Any gripes? I'm gonna go first this time. I think when the movie first started, and these were gripes that were eventually turned around. But when the movie first started, and he was fighting like the TVA guys in the forest, are we up for Ryan Reynolds' comedy for 2 hours again? Like, isn't this getting old now? But then as the movie progressed, there were some laugh out loud moments that won me over. That was part one. And part two of gripes, I just felt it got a little repetitive. Him and Wolverine, okay, we're nice to each other, we argue, and then we fight again. Like when the car scene and they fought again, I was like, we're doing this again?
Right.
Yeah,
I did
I
that way a
felt
little
that
bit.
at that point. I was like, okay, I got it. You guys, gonna fight until, whatever, until somebody, something else happens, and then it redirects our attention. Those are the only two moments I was kind of like,
To repeat what I said in the beginning, I think there could have been a little more story that we could follow to make it a little more fun in terms of. I mean, it's fun in every other way, but I mean, but there's almost no story. I mean, and then also,
I disagree with that.
But
I disagree, but I mean, continue.
Maybe because I'm just saying, like it's like you said, it's a little repetitive. Like when, for example, when they're fighting each other in the car, it's like so many slow motion fights, so many fights that they're over and over and over and over, and then it's like each fight becomes less meaningful, kind of.
Yeah.
But they're having fun with it. I get it. It was still fun. Also, the lead bad guy who is
There's Mr. Paradox and Cassandra Nova.
Yeah, Cassandra Nova. So I think they could have made her a little more, show her evil, scary side. They show her power, what she could do. Like for me, I mean, I want like the the bad one to be like a little extra scary, so then you could like care more. You know what I'm saying? Thanos was really a scary bad person, right?
Yeah, like,
and the right?
Yeah, because he could. They like not even one person can take Thanos. Like his
Magneto was like,
oh, he's like no joke.
He's like no joke, scary fucking bad guy, you know.
Yeah.
So I wish she was a little more, you know. They should have shown her a little more scary, because then you care more about it, you know. You get a little more. Oh, and the Winter Soldier, like that was really like unstoppable. Amazing.
The way he was presented.
Bad
like,
guy. The way he was presented.
Amazing,
it was like,
like he will go through anything. Yeah,
Right. So I think they could have shown a little more of that. But then it's not that movie. They're having fun with it. I get it. You know. So that's just a small gripe. That's all. Will I see it again? Hell yeah. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I'm going to see it again next week.
In a different continent.
Yeah, because I'm going to London next Monday with my wife, and she's dying to see it too. She's a big fan of all these movies. So anyway, how about your gripes?
I think you have a good point with Cassandra. It was almost as if some of these heroes or villains that she interacted with was child's play for her. You know, Magneto. You know, boom. You know, what did she say? The magician that came. You know, like it's just like Doctor Strange. Come on, man. That's not like an easy. Come on, but it made it sound like, listen, even what happened with, you know, Johnny, I'm just like, oh my goodness, you just stripped the skin off and then...
So you felt that she was a threat, like a big threat, or not so much?
I think the audience had a perception that they knew her power. You know, you shared the room with Charles Xavier, so I kind of know what we're facing here, and it's just, you can just show me little tidbits. I don't know, you don't got to stick your fingers all through my head to figure out that, hey, you're someone I don't want to mess around with, you know what I mean? So, like, your office is in Ant-Man's skull here, so, you know.
His body.
Which is crazy.
That's such a cool vision.
That vision of just that alone, I was watching just like, I don't know why I was a little creeped out by it, but I was just like, that's fucking amazing. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I think another gripe I did have was that repetitive back and forth. You know, I thought the first time we entered the Void, I was like, okay, we're going to see Wolverine and, you know, Deadpool go at it. And that was pretty epic in itself. And then, you know, we saw it again, and I'm like, okay. And it's like, all right, we're doing this again. I thought just once we entered the Void, that was going to be the big one. And Ryan Reynolds said this. He said, listen, this is what you all came for, so we're going to make it a good one. And then it's like, well, yeah, we saw it, and then you did the second act and the third act. All right, come on now. What's going on? But other than that, I can't say I had too many gripes with it. I think it's small stuff like in the beginning. I don't know, just like the graphic of the blood. I was just like, oh my god, it looks like it was like the blood looked like it was like, you know, tomato juice or whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. Like it was small things like that. Again, Ryan Reynolds, he's not the funniest to me, so there were a lot of times where he made jokes, and there were sometimes the audience didn't make any noises, or there was times when they were roaring out laughter. So. But overall, still a fun movie I would go out and see, you know, hands down. I would take my cousin. I know my cousin Kyle would definitely love it.
You gotta bring him.
You know, there's just certain characters you're gonna be like, oh my god, he's in this movie. I didn't even know. And you
can't tell him anything. You just kind of bring him.
But you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know from the previews. You would think it's just Deadpool and Wolverine, and they must be going on some sort of journey or quest. And we don't know what they're doing or how they're going about it. And then it's just like, oh my god, look at these cameos. Look what's going on here. Look what the show. Oh man, yeah. This is definitely one of those that you didn't know. You didn't know until you pulled the sheets back.
Oh, I like that.
But one thing I was hoping for, and it didn't have, was like I thought, you know, okay, you have this time travel going on. I thought there was going to be another like big time travel movie, and then he's going to reintroduce the new X-Men or something, and that didn't happen. You know, I thought we were going to like, oh, okay, we start up a new thing again, but. It was really just the greatest hits and another Deadpool movie, but that didn't happen. But I'm glad to see Hugh Jackman back, because he said he wouldn't go back to this character unless the script was worth it. So he obviously thought that.
I think that might have been the thing where Ryan Reynolds, as a producer, was told, listen, we're not going to give you a backyard. You have a football field to play with, but still stay within this realm. We're not going to do any lead-offs that may lead to another, you know, spin-off or another movie. Just have fun. Have fun. Here's your parameters. You want to make a little, you know, knocks at 20th Century Fox and Disney, go ahead, have fun with it. We know what you present, and the audience will eat it up. So, and then he just let his imagination run, and I think he hit out the park with this one.
Ryan Reynolds, I think the funniest bits was when he is breaking the fourth wall and saying things about real people, or like things about the history of of these Marvel movies and the Fox movies. We wanted to shout out. It was so cool to see villains from these past. I mean, they were played by different actors in this one.
Like Juggernaut, right?
Like Juggernaut, and I forgot the guy's name, the red, like demon-looking guy who was related to Nightcrawler.
I was gonna say, yeah.
And then the lady with the long claws.
Toad was the villain, right?
I don't know. Toad was in there.
Toad was in there, but
not. I think none of those people were the original actors.
Okay.
There was a scene when they were in the void where you saw like Thor's classic helmet with the wings that was buried in the ground. They were riding around when this like Mad Max group came in. Like the Fantastic Four.
I was like, what is that? I was trying to see.
That's in the comics. That Fantastic Four kind of like, it looks like a land speeder from Star Wars.
I was trying to see if there were characters in those vehicles that would have been like, oh my God, look who that is right there in the back seat.
I noticed Toad and Pyro, who had actually lines in this one. He was like in the first X-Men.
That was the same actor.
That was the same actor. And the guy who played Sabretooth. Those were the same actors from the original X-Men movies.
Right.
Love letter to the 20th Century Fox movies, even before the X-Men, and that's including Blade, Elektra, Fantastic Four, and
you little old Spider-Man in there.
Yeah, he was a goof. Yeah.
And then they must have had insight of the Furiosa movie because they made this with a lot of Furiosa jokes.
And Furiosa, that's not even a Warner. That's not even.
That's Warner Brothers.
Property. Yeah, that's totally like Warner.
Right.
Brothers.
So yeah.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna go around the last time. And we're going to go ahead and give our scores.
Right.
I'll go first this time. For me, this was a ton of fun. Really enjoyed this. Like I said, I had gripes because it felt a little repetitious. I was okay with the story being simple because it doesn't need to be nothing crazy. But for me, this was a 9. I was sitting next to Jason. You heard me multiple times laughing out loud, slapping my leg. This was a great time at the movies, and I really can see this possibly being one of the biggest movies of the year box office-wise.
Absolutely.
You know? So this was a 9 out of 10. Besides the repetition, this is a comedy first, and then a superhero movie and an action movie after. And I had a great time. Mark, what's your final score?
I'll give a shout out to Nicole Kidman for always getting the start off right.
Boo.
Yes.
Do we still need Nicole Kidman after we have a whole intro?
Listen, at least it's not a 1-minute intro. Now it's like 20 seconds.
Remember, they paid her a lot of money. They're like, we got to. Contract says they can use her until 2030, maybe. Who knows?
We're gonna have this forever.
Exactly.
But it's shorter than the original.
No,
It is shorter.
I give this movie. I give it an 8.8. Again, Ryan Reynolds, his comedy. That doesn't always land with me, but again, this movie.
Yeah, you don't think
overall-
he's the funniest.
Yeah, but this movie overall was just a very fun, again, entertaining 2 hours and 8 minutes. So
Yes.
I definitely give it 8.8 for my rating on that.
Good.
It's funny, yeah. I say the same thing. I was thinking, not a 9, a little bit less, and I was thinking the first X-Men came out in '99. I'm gonna say 8.8, and then he just said 8.8. So mine is 8.8 too.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's like a 8.9 average or something, or 8.75. It's a great score.
Yes.
I think on the tomato meter is like 81 or something. So
And it started off like in the 70s, and this has been like slowly climbing up. Yeah.
And I'm sure it'll keep going up as its premiere weekend.
I think the fans are gonna.
Exactly.
yeah, the fans will love
The
it.
critics will be like, okay, this was good, but the fans, let's wrap this up, guys. You're both amazing. We're gonna take a picture that we can use as the cover.
Sure.
And
I think over here there's a Deadpool
Is there one
cardboard
over
cutout or something.
oh yeah. Thank you both for recording again. I know it's like past midnight almost, so
No worries. Thank you.
Cool,
Thank
but I
you.
drove this time, so I'm not rushing to Penn Station.
Oh, we're Americans.
12,
We're not
13.
Russian.
I know,
No
right?
rest.
Guys, thank you, and hopefully we'll do this
Always
again
appreciate it.
before the year's over.
No,
Absolutely. All right. Over and out. From 40 Deuce.
Yes.
Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I will catch you on the next one.